Hey YouTube and Spotify, what's going on? This is ITalkFortnite here, and in today's podcast, we have a brand new podcast.
Peace and love, peace and love.
It is episode number 50 of the ITalkFortnite podcast. Yes, I'm at number 50. It's pretty crazy. I'm joined by here with Lucas7Yoshi. You'd introduce yourself?
Hi, Lucas7Yoshi. Twitter things.
Yeah, Lucas7Yoshi is a prominent leaker in the leaking community, and I brought him on here for a very specific topic that we'll talk about later on. But yeah, so if you guys do not know, I'm a YouTuber on YouTube named ITalkFortnite. You can follow me on YouTube. You can listen to me on Spotify. We're also on Spotify as well. You can follow me on Twitter at ITalkFortnite. You can follow me on Instagram. I can talk Fortnite. If you'd like to use me for support a creator, my code is ITF. I've had to edit myself saying I talk Fortnite a few times. I'm still used to saying that, but no, the code is now ITF, and you could join the Discord. And then Lucas, you can give some plugs if you would like.
Yeah, as you said, I am Lucas7Yoshi. I do data mining, and I cover news in between updates generally. My supporter creator is the same as every other name on platforms, Lucas7Yoshi, and that's kind of really the only platform I'm on.
All right. You're also on Twitch, though, right?
Yeah, I do that occasionally for update streams.
Fair enough. All right. But yeah, so we're recording this podcast a day earlier. I think I'm going to just be doing this for now on. I don't think I'm going to be doing Sunday podcasts anymore. I just like planning my weeks out ahead. And plus, it helps with just getting different people on the podcast because Sundays people are usually busy, as I found out with Mustard Plays. Pretty much anyone else. I'm like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? Like, I can't really do it on a Sunday. Busy hanging out with my family, doing other things. So Saturday nights might be the way I do it for now on. But anyway, let's just get right into the podcast.
Peace and love, peace and love.
Okay, so the first thing I just want to quickly go over is that Fortnite did release 10 Ghostbuster skins, as well as another pack, which was 2 back blings. One that was actually reactive is pretty cool. There was a pickaxe, which is extremely interactive. Like, it's got a lot of sounds and it's got a lot of stuff going on with it. And then that glider is really cool as well. I really was not expecting them to do the Ghostbusters the way they did. And I feel like there was a missed opportunity. We didn't get a music pack. How do we not get a music pack for, like, the theme song? Like, they got the rights. They have the rights to the logo and everything with Ghostbusters. So it's not like they couldn't do it unless maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just like, yeah, you can't use any of the characters from the actual movies or anything. But I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a missed opportunity the way they handled it. Me personally. I don't know. Do you think this is kind of how they... Did you expect it to be like this?
Well, I think if they did have the rights to proper characters, they probably would have had the music as well. So I suspect something weird was going on there.
Yeah, not to mention that recently, before the leaks kind of were weird, which we'll get into, there was 10 new defaults that were leaked out or something like that?
I think someone mentioned that they are lined up with the Ghostbusters as well.
Figure that. That's what it was, because HypeX's video, which... that was the only way I could see the leaks. There was no PNGs. There was nothing like that for me to look at. And in the video, he showed off all these new defaults. I'm like, that's strange. And then I think almost all of them were used for these skins. I'm like, okay. I don't mind new defaults.
8.
Oh, was it 8? Okay. It was 8. One of them looks like Lachlan. Straight up, it looks like him. It's so weird. I didn't even mention in the video, but like, that literally looks like Lachlan to me. But yeah, I wasn't expecting them to just do it like this. I was really just expecting maybe 3 male, 3 female, but all from the Ghostbusters universe and not just Fortnite character lookalikes as the skins. Yeah. They've done this with like the Arctic Command set, I believe it's called, with like, it's basically the same skin, but with a different character. I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with this, but I don't know. I still think it's rather creative. I do like how you can get 5 of the skins for 2,000 V-Bucks. That's a really good deal. I mean, they all look basically the same, but I still think that is a really good deal. I will never, I'll never say that they're, you know, they're really good with how they handle their microtransactions and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think the gear bundle is probably the coolest thing. The two back blings are pretty well. Okay, the one back bling is kind of boring, but the other one I think is really nice. The one that's like reactive with like the lights and stuff. The pickaxe is insane, and the glider's amazing. The glider's cool, but yeah, just like I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm happy that we kind of got a more unique twist to it, and it wasn't just what I was expecting. It caught me off guard a little bit. This was not leaked out ahead of time. This was all encrypted, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, it was encrypted.
Okay. I always feel weird saying that because I don't know if like certain skins were encrypted or not, or if they were just not in the files until like the last second or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Generally, if they don't get leaked out after patch, it's encrypted.
Yeah. Have they ever added like skins into the files like before shop? Because like I know like the zombie soccer skins were leaked out like 30 minutes before they were actually released.
Well, I think for a time they pushed the encryption keys like they do for events and not actually in the shops. Because at the moment the shops have the encryption keys in them, so it decrypts it when it comes out to the shop. But for a while they put the keys out earlier to let the game load them, so we got them like half an hour earlier.
Okay. So that makes sense. I didn't know that the shops actually like decrypted themselves. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, there's the shop, and then there's the keychain. The keychain is just what it sounds like. It has all the encryption keys, but that's not very quick. So the shop is instant.
So why does it sometimes where like the Star Wars skins, for example, the names never showed up? So I saw like set 01-A, like what?
Well, they no longer have to do that anymore because they actually encrypt the translations. But before, they had to push out the translations through hotfixes, and those are only grabbed when you actually try to go into a match.
Okay.
So it was still on the old one. They might grab them ahead of time now.
Okay. Makes sense for sure. All right. So yeah, that was what I thought about the Ghostbuster stuff. I think it's okay. Yeah, like they don't look bad. I'm actually kind of happy we got more unique default character models for this, and it's not just the same old Jonesy and not the same old Headhunter. Like I'm happy that they're trying to expand them. They kind of did this with like the superhero skins. I don't think they're all the exact same character models as these guys, even though it kind of feels like maybe they were, but I don't have them in front of me to like see neck and neck, back to back, face to face to see if it's actually the same characters or not. But I want to say they're not.
Reused some of them.
What's that?
I think they may have reused some of them.
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if it was all of them, but I definitely recognize a few of them. The one chick that has like the really fat face, like it just, I don't know, it kind of resembles a pufferfish to me. Like she's just, I don't know. I recognize that superhero character, and I don't know, just not a fan of her face. Again, Fortnite is not expecting everyone to love or like every single thing they do. That would be insane for them to think like, oh, everyone's gonna love all of these skins. Like, no.
I mean, there's a reason they do 5 of them each.
Exactly. They don't expect people to be buying every skin. They just don't.
But they do appeal to them.
They do.
With the bundles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good deal though. 5 uncommons for 2,000 V-Bucks. Good deal.
That's like half off.
Yeah, it is half off. It is a good deal. But the thing is, the only issue is that they're all just kind of the same. They're just the same, just different character model, hair color, and that's the hairstyle, and that's it.
Were the superhero skins rare or?
They were legendary. Actually, they were worth 1,800 each for whatever reason. They were 1,800.
Yeah, that seems like a weird choice. Why not just like make it epic?
No. I think they were fine on legendary. There's so much customization with those. I think legendary was. I think legendary was perfect. Personally, for me, 2,000 V-Bucks to basically have infinite possibilities with your outfit, like with all the colors and everything. I think that was worth legendary for sure. But yeah, 10 of them though, like they were basically the exact same, just different character hair and different face, skin tone, stuff like that. That's all the differences were. So you realistically, you really only needed like one. You didn't
Maybe
really.
two.
Yeah, if you want a male and female, sure, but like I don't know. It's kind of the same way how I feel about the NFL skins. You can't even take off the helmet. How are you even able to tell who is who? Like, come on, just let us take the helmet off. The only thing I can tell different is like the arm color is different. That's literally it. Like, come on. I want to take the helmet off. I don't see why they haven't done that yet. I feel like NFL is just telling them. They're just like, no, you can't do that. Don't let them take off the helmet. I don't know. I talked about that last week, how, wait, did I talk about that last week? I'm trying to think. About the NFL skins getting, no, I talked about it in a video this week, though. I talked about how the NFL skins got, allowed you to get a free refund for a month because they changed the Washington Redskins name to the Washington Football Team. So they had to remove the logo. And I guess they thought that was such a big deal to let you have a free refund on them because of a logo being gone. Like, really? That seems like a stretch.
Well, I kind of stand by that because it's not a bad policy to have.
It's not a bad policy to have, but I feel like you would need to drastically... Like, okay, the toy soldier skins, they got the same thing. That makes total sense to me because they drastically changed the color on those. Like, that was crazy different. Like, they had to muddy them up a little bit. That makes more sense to me as to giving them a free refund. But to remove a logo from one of the 32 NFL football teams, and that is your reason? That's kind of ridiculous to me. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I still think that it's for the best. I mean, it removes any risk of people complaining.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it came out the perfect time. So many people on Twitter were refunding them so they can buy the Halloween skins. You let them use them for like basically a year if they bought them the first time around when they came out. I think in like November 2018, I believe that was when they came out. I could be wrong, but when they did that, if they want to refund them, you got to basically play them for 2 years for free technically because you bought them for 1,500 V-bucks and then you just refunded them back. So I don't know.
I would be surprised if a lot of people didn't refund it, even if they didn't care about the change.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, though, is that people did refund it. They didn't care about the change. They were just happy they could refund it because people... Listen, to be fair, the issue I have is that they only offer you 3 lifetime refund tokens, which I think is a little ridiculous. I think they need to give us a little bit more than just 3. If I'm being honest with you, 3 just seems like way too low. That's on everything, not just one, like not just skins, like everything. You bought the wrong pickaxe, that's one. Like, I don't know how they can even really make it work that way where you can just get multiple refund tokens like earnable, but like, I don't know, just seems kind of...
Well, I mean, I agree that 3 is pretty low, but then they're so open to give refunds to so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went through all 3 of mine in like 3 months realistically, and I'm not alone on that.
No, I'm trying to think which ones were mine. I think Venturion, the Nautilus Glider, and I think there was one pickaxe. I think it was the Airfoil, which is the Venturion pickaxe. I didn't like Venturion, and that was before he even got the cape, and I thought the cape was gross anyway. But just like the skin tone, it was like that yellow, gray. Just no, thank you. It was just a really bad color scheme. But then they just recently updated them to make them red and black, and they're like, red and black is Fortnite's strong suit with that for sure. It's crazy. How many skins do you have, Lucas? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well, I have most of the Battle Pass skins since Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chapter 1 is when I continue to actually try to get to Tier 100, but if I'm going to be honest, Chapter 2, not exactly my strong suit of keeping up with that.
Understandable.
I have
you
a fair few item shop skins.
Okay. Is Flapjacky still your main?
At the moment, I've been using Cozy Shark.
Oh, okay.
And Before that was Sky for a little bit, and then before that was Flapjacky.
Okay. Yeah, it's so many people in the Fortnite community just love Flapjacky.
Well, it's probably mostly because a lot of people, when there was less skins, so they had less to pick from, and then it became associated with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just makes sense, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Quickly, I want to just mention I'm going to be making a video talking about the OG editals not returning, and yeah, I mean, at this point, I just don't care. I cared back when it first started. I don't care anymore. I really just don't. I think there's just more to life than caring about a special edit style for one skin when it just doesn't matter. So I'm going to be making a video about that. But the final topic, this might be a shorter podcast, but the final thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that this new update, while it was good on PC, the fact that we got a huge, like, decrease in file size. Fortnite, I think for me, was like 92 and 95 gigabytes. I think
95 with Save the World, and then it was 90 without, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It got chopped down to a third of that.
Yeah, it got lowered to a lot, or to like 30 or 29, something like that. And that's really cool that they did that. However, the only issue is it kind of killed leaks, and it seemed to have killed the 3D art community in the sense that, like, okay, I'm terrible explaining this, but basically I feel like that Fortnite kind of inadvertently killed leaking and killed off the 3D art community. Can you explain kind of further as to what actually happened with this update?
So first off, the majority of how they saved storage, that was just compression, like zip file kind of thing. But that wasn't the only thing they did, as became apparent. We've figured out, for example, the compression. We can get files, but they changed the format, so it's a lot less understandable automatically. And that has had a lot of consequences, because now for leaking, we have to basically map otherwise just numbers to what they are to be able to read files easily. And that is even more damaging to 3D art, because those files are a lot more complex than, just a definition of skin. And that is very likely going to make it incredibly difficult, if it stays the way it is right now, for people to be able to extract models for their 3D art. There are people who have been getting 3D models, but those are rough, don't have proper texturing, and don't move in the same way as the current game.
Okay.
So they end up looking a bit jank. But I don't believe Epic made these changes intentionally.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it was a change made for the game engine by a developer of Unreal Engine that got merged into Fortnite, and then they didn't realize that, this is going to remove a lot of what we use to be able to leak and extract things. I could try and explain what exactly they removed that makes things hard.
No, it's fine. Yeah, go ahead. It's gonna get confusing, but trust me, he knows what he's talking about with this.
Well, I know enough to try to explain it with some confidence. Let me find the image here. So, before, you can imagine a file that stuff is stored in, like as a two-sided, like when you connect dots, like you connect things to what they equal to, like on tests and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So the display name, for example, would go to where the value is of the name of a skin, for example, and same with rarity and all other values. And before, that was very straightforward. Those were basically we were basically given the lines to connect those. But now we just get numbers. So it's like number 15 is the name of a skin. And we have to say, oh, number 15 is the name, and this is its value. When before, that was all already decided. And we have to do that for every single type of file. And that obviously
Rarity,
gets
name.
rarity, name, the featured asset, I believe, hero definition, the tags of it. And then we have to do that for characters, back blings, gliders, music packs. We have to find, and they're all going to probably be different. They might be similar, but we'll have to go through manually and map it all out. And it is being done already. Bottles, presume you're familiar with John Wick bot.
Yes.
Yeah. He's that is basically an entirely automated bot, and he's working on mapping it out to make sure it works. But even just for a shop bot, just cosmetics, it takes a lot of things to be figured out. And then to bring up 3D art, that gets complicated because storing 3D models and then the materials and textures, those are all pretty complex, and those change quite regularly. Like, sometimes people would say, oh, model's broken, they can't export their new skins. That's because they update that. And when they update it in this new format, there's gonna be very few things to connect straight away to figure it out, and it'll be a lot more challenging to update even if we fix it to get models. And yeah, I don't believe Epic. So Epic didn't do this intentionally, but it's a consequence of optimizations for the game. There is some hope we might be able to get back to how it was before, but I've not heard word from any developers at Epic or anything to suggest that is the case. And it's just theories at the moment with no concrete evidence at the moment, unfortunately.
I almost want to kind of ask Mustard Plays if I could ask him, like, hey, do you mind asking Donald why he what happened with like all that? Because yeah, I know for a fact they did not do this intentionally.
Yeah, like they've retweeted 3D artists before.
Absolutely.
Someone, and they certainly do not mind them. I don't know if any concepts that were made in 3D have made it into the game, but they probably don't really think much about it. And I actually have a quote from Magma. He's part of Epic.
Yep.
Where, let me find it.
Magma, I think, is head of security for Epic, or what is he? He's
yeah, he's security. Not really much more about it, but I mean, he literally said, when I was asking about what their stance was back in 2019, he said we'd like to encourage that kind of tinkering and how does it work mentality, and that's the core of why I'm a data miner, because I was curious how the game worked, and I'm certainly not the first to be like that.
No, understandable.
And that kind of is out the window now because you have to have pre-existing knowledge to be able to even read things. And like all the event files, those are generally in things called blueprints, and those are all unique. So their structures are completely different. So we cannot read them at all, basically, which is great for no event leaks.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, over the past few events, we've not really bothered, and with how they're doing them now, they have them encrypted and then decrypt them 5 minutes before while you're in game, so we don't even pick it up until like after using replays and stuff.
Right.
So that I can live with being gone, but
yeah, because you would leak out. There was one thing that you leaked out that I thought was so funny. I think you like leaked out the entire Quibi ad that was gonna be played at Risky Reels that one time.
I leaked out the entirety of the recording, right?
Yeah, I think that's what you did. And I'm like, what on earth is this? Like, I'm like, is this really what they're gonna be playing at Risky Reels? And I think you also like leaked out the Marshmallow backing video thing that was gonna be being played on his stage, I believe.
It was like an early version of it. It was a 5-minute test, which was actually 6 minutes. that was just slipped into the game's folder. It wasn't even hidden. It was just an MP4 in the game folder.
That's so weird.
And it was rather bizarre to come across.
You can
And that was,
confirm
like,
that
the
those
first-
concerts were live, right?
The voice part of it was live, yes.
Yeah.
The audio that was playing from the MP4, that where the background was. I still have that video, and yeah, the music is just from the video.
Is that with every concert? Like, is that even with like the Party Royale stuff? That's all, or is that live as well? I feel like that might. Yeah,
Party Royale stuff is 99% actually live.
That's pretty cool.
Like, I did post at one point, like I was snooping the live streams of it, and I came across like the stream of the background of the set, like the in-person set that they've started using. And I came across just some random person who's like named of Epic Event 1 that was there.
Yeah, how did you find that?
Well, they've kind of gone through and made that a bit more difficult, but I still have my way, so I'm not really afraid of saying it. But basically, the game started streaming it right away, even if it didn't show it. Like, I noticed that it requested 2 streams. One of them was the countdown, which was live, and then there's the other live stream, which was the occasional second screens that would show up in the Party Royale. And that was where there was a Bright Bomber just messing around for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I was like, what on earth even are they? I thought they were like following random people, but
nah, it was an Epic employee.
That's so weird. Like an Epic dev is just like, I'm just gonna do all these goofy emotes. I'm just gonna look nice for the camera. Just be doing all this and that. And then I saw people were like chasing her or chasing him down. I saw that in the footage. I'm like, oh no.
You may have seen it, but I tried sending a friend, requested them.
Yes, you did. Yes.
And they only barely make the doubt from like the tiny text at the like, top left of the game.
That's how you found out. Okay. I was like, how do you even read that?
You would not be able to figure that out if you didn't actually have like the straight live stream.
Yeah, because it was too blurry, or it was too hard to tell through the
all the
stream.
effects.
Yeah, it was too difficult to figure that one out.
Yeah, and what was the previous question?
We were just talking about how you're able to like leak out the events, and we were talking about how like it seems like you're no longer able to do that. It didn't matter anyway because they would just leak them out 5 minutes before the event actually happened.
So in its current state, it wasn't really feasible or practical to bother leaking anything. Travis Scott's event was decrypted 5 minutes before it happened.
Wow.
And like I think I was tweeting about like, oh boy, Epic may have forgotten to decrypt it, because you may remember during the Star Wars event,
no. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just horrible.
People were crashing in their game. They were getting crashed out of the game
because they forgot to decrypt the glider.
Well, it was the glider that caused it at first, because people would jump out and then it would load them in. Yeah. It would literally, for the same reason, sometimes in the launcher you couldn't launch the game when there was an event going on. That's because the service that says, hey, the game's online or not, got overwhelmed to the point from just people launching the launcher, so they couldn't get in. So the game wasn't down or intentionally. And that happened with how they were distributing the encryption key. So it was overwhelmed. And yeah,
so how did console get through that? It was only PC that was having that issue.
Consoles do not have encrypted backs at all.
Oh.
That's because, for a while, Nintendo Switch didn't either, but Nintendo security is a little lacking compared to PlayStation and Xbox. So they just don't put encrypted packs on it, primarily for performance. And that's how people sometimes leak things ahead of time on console.
I was going to say, because there are some things that are encrypted that you can only get through console. And the footage always looks terrible, and I'm assuming it's because no one that leaks on console has an Elgato or has a Homepage or any like video recording software
I think like one guy has it, and it was C-Locks, and he's not even leaking anymore.
Oh, good fight to that, I guess. But like
Yeah, I
all the
think-
console leaks are always like so blurry. I'm like, this looks like I'm looking at like a picture of Bigfoot, and you're telling me that it's real or something.
Yeah, guys, this skin is very real. I made it in MS Paint. But yeah, there's not been much of that lately either. I mean, there was the one set, which still hasn't come out yet.
I forgot what
I
the name
forget
of
the
it
name of
is.
it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like the male and female, and the female looks like something out of like an anime or something like that?
Yeah, that one. But yeah, so to go back to, leaking events, that's not possible really anymore at all. Even more less so than before. But even for like in-game teasers, which aren't hidden, we can't really even figure out those.
Not
So we may have
necessarily a
learned-
bad thing.
Nah, it's the one. It's definitely the one thing I'm absolutely a-okay with losing.
Right.
Because I mean, for a while, events weren't that complicated. I mean, the season 4 event, chapter 1, that was very short, and the
Yeah, it's the
audio
rockets
was
going up.
leaked. Yeah, that one is really not that big of an issue to have it leaked. But having the entirety of, say, what was an event that got really leaked and spoiled?
I
That
think
is-
the drum gun one where everyone voted for the drum gun. I think that one kind of got leaked out a lot.
Yeah, I literally just posted a screenshot of some files which were like BP_vote_ drum gun. And that basically flew it out of the window right away.
Hmm.
That one, I think it definitely would have been interesting to see how it would have gone if people hadn't, it was like, hey, planning on it. I do kind of
Right.
regret that. Because, like, Tfue and all of them were like saying, vote Micro SMG in it when it happens. But that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't leaked.
Yeah, true.
I'm curious.
Do you think any Epic devs have like a problem with you leaking at all? Because like I know that FMBR leaks got like a cease and desist.
That I don't remember the full details of, but I think that was because of a tool which let you use skins you don't have in game.
Oh, okay,
And that
okay.
was the issue that he was selling.
I
He
see.
got like a couple hundred people banned.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah.
But do you
Overall,
think
I
Epic has like any issues with you?
Not that many issues, I'd say. If any issues, they're probably event stuff or stuff that really shouldn't get out there.
Yeah, because didn't they said they didn't want the Star Wars event leaked, which I don't think they could
Yeah.
even leak out anyway. Because didn't you say it was like, was it one of those events where it was like
No.
it wasn't leaked until like 5 minutes?
No, that one was decrypted half an hour before,
Okay, half an hour.
but people couldn't get the key in game still.
Yeah,
But no
crashed
one
my
really
game.
bothered to leak that one. Damn,
Yeah.
did you actually get crashed for that?
I did.
I can actually,
I was
I can
so-
actually send a message.
I was pissed off that day. I remember. I was a crotchety old man that day. Missed an event even though I was already prepared for it and everything. So I felt like I missed out on like, because it's like my job to like cover events and to post my reactions and stuff like that. And I couldn't do it because I missed it because it was no fault of mine. And then I saw lightsabers and I'm like, oh my god, the game's ruined. And I didn't even try it with the lightsabers. Still didn't like them.
It was salt on the wound.
Yeah,
I was watching Dr. Lupo during it, and I noticed right away as he was loading in, the loading screen was just pure white. And that's because the game couldn't get the loading screen from the pack, and then he crashed.
That's a
By
noof
the
right
way,
there.
That's the message. And but yeah, they did ask the one time, and overall, I think Epic does not really mind leakers too much. If they wanted to hide cosmetics, they can encrypt them, and they're well aware of that. They can even hide it from console leaks by putting random garbage onto the ID. But
Is the ID name still the same and everything?
what do you mean, like
Like-
as it was before this update?
Like M Soldier _ like the
Yeah, it's like-
usual.
Yeah, nothing's really changed, and it's kind of a bit of a running joke, like, "Ooh, what will happen when it gets to 1,000?"
Right.
It's always been a 3-digit thing.
Yeah.
But,
Here, do you mind if I read this out loud? This is what Epic actually said to the leakers. I think this was directed to Sheena, I think, and it was like meant to like spread it to everyone.
Well, I had that DM'd me to me directly.
Oh, that was
but
to you. I think Sheena mentioned it or something like that, and that's what I saw.
and I think it was posted in one of the discords a lot of leakers are in, so it spread around.
Okay.
And that was what they wanted. So yeah, you can read it.
Okay, so they said, hey, I know that you guys have voluntarily chosen to not spoil a few events in the past, and that is much appreciated at Epic. We are asking you to please not spoil tomorrow's Star Wars event. We know that certain assets will be available for you a few hours before the event, and that your normal routine is to post them online, sometimes with filter this word to prevent spoiler tags. I like how they even acknowledge that. Epic is respectfully requesting that you respect the enormous amount of hard work that countless people have put into making tomorrow a truly one-of-a-kind spectacle, something never done before in a video game, and allow players to experience it for the first time without any preconceived notions or leaks. I know it's entirely voluntary, and not everyone may go along with it, but we would truly appreciate it if you did not leak tomorrow's event. Also, this is not meant as a threat. Tomorrow's event features intellectual property from third parties, Disney, Lucasfilm, pretty huge companies, and we have no control or oversight into what their legal team may do in order to enforce their IP rights online in the event that information is published ahead of schedule. Again, we understand that it's truly voluntary, and we've not asked for this kind of favor before, but we would really appreciate it if the leaker community did not publish information about tomorrow's event once it is available to them. Please feel free to circulate this message throughout the leaker community so everyone has visibility. I have two questions with this. Number one, were you able to actually see the sneak peek of the movie thing that they were showing off? Were you able to like actually see that in the leaks, but you just didn't post it, or what?
I believe that was sent over the server, like the actual game server, so I wasn't able to get that. I did actually download it though, and I did mess with that security guy.
But you didn't leak it out to the public.
No, I didn't even have it ahead of time.
Okay.
I just managed to download it after the fact.
I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you do. I see it right there. Okay, and then second question, who actually posted that? Was that Magma?
Yeah, that was Magma.
Okay.
He's really the only person who is integrated enough with leakers to be able to get anything out like that.
Yeah,
So
Magma's interesting.
He's an interesting fellow, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's so mysterious. I tried adding him and he won't add me back.
He added me right away. Not the foot brag, though.
Well, aren't you cool? It's probably because he knows you're a leaker, and I don't know.
He wants to keep eyes on me.
Yeah, that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Epic... I mean, remember the time they tried to ban leaks on YouTube?
I don't know what the deal with that was.
I got an... Let me... You know what? I'm going to try to find that email. I remember I got an email to take down a video specifically. They specifically told me to take down a video. Oh man, this might take a while to figure out, or to find rather. I
know Hypex got one as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, did he?
But I think he may have been the first one too. I still don't get why they did that. They've obviously changed their
oh, here it is.
that.
Here it is. Hello, this is to notify you that we have received a trademark complaint regarding your content, the details of which appear at the end of this message. We strongly encourage parties to resolve their trademark disputes. Okay. So, it was on, and it shows, I think this shows Hypex's video right here. Oh, wait, did he not take this down? Oh, no, wait, this was Apollo, I think. So this was a skin leak video, and I talked about them. This was when Riot was in the leaks, the Elmira skin, the Taro skin. Interesting. Jay Choi was the person that...
Oh yeah, that guy. Let me check my business email.
Yeah, it was very strange. And they said we will not take action on the complaint for 48 hours. And that was kind of sus. I'm like, okay. I get you don't want to see leaks, but like, why now?
I did get emailed one time by Jay Choi, but that was when someone spoofed an email from Epic Games to my business email, and I kind of responded jokingly, but I was kind of stupid and didn't realize it was going to respond back to legal@epicgames.com.
Oh no.
And then he responded. But it was more just because he wanted to look into who it was doing it.
Oh, okay.
Which I do appreciate. But yeah, it was him.
Do you have a favorite like person at Epic that you talk to, or is it really just Magma at this point, really?
Magma is really the only person I talk to that I have talked to at Epic.
You don't have any other contacts or anything?
Interactions?
Yeah.
I'm followed by a few. Evan Kinney, for one.
Oh, yep. I know Evan.
A fair few people.
J-Cry, maybe?
He follows me.
Well, J-Cry doesn't even work for Epic anymore.
Wait, was he the lighting guy?
Yes.
Or
Render. He did the Dio render.
Yeah, I think I do follow him, or I don't think he was following me, though. I think that's probably more likely he was following community people.
No, yeah, he wasn't following me. He doesn't follow me. It's okay. Feels bad, man.
Followed by Eric Williamson.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think who followed who followed Azriel? Was that
was Tim Sweeney.
That was Tim Sweeney, actually. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know, it's funny because like I'm still followed by Lil Nas X. I check every once in a while because I'm still wondering like why does he even follow me? I'm very confused by that. But I never DM'd him once. I don't want to DM him because I feel like anything I say he'll just unfollow me right away because he's like, oh yeah, I remember I am following you. But like I don't know. I'm just like, okay, what do I say to him? Hi, how are you? I don't know. How's your day?
Well, Tim Sweeney followed Azrael following EGL2.
Right, and that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, does Azrael even DM him or anything? Like,
I think Tim responded one time to one of those shallow fakes, as I call them, like the doing the dummy thing. He responded to that, of course.
What do you mean?
I'll find the tweet. But, you know, like when people were deep faking people.
Oh, no. I remember that. Yeah. And they were doing that weird meme thing.
I still don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Well, Tim saw that and replied to him, and he's still following. So
I guess he doesn't care.
And Tim Sweeney is overall pretty chill, I'd say, as well. I mean, I've had limited interactions with him, but I jokingly asked what his favorite compression thing was before the update. And he actually gave a genuine response.
Yeah, you didn't think he'd give you that genuine response either.
Well, after I sent him, I'm like, this is definitely something he very well could respond to, and then he did.
Yeah.
And he gave me a very boring Wikipedia article to put me to sleep for the update that night.
Oh, man. That's cool.
But yeah.
Yeah. Do you, I'm curious to know, how do 3D artists actually get a hold of these models, these character models anyway?
Well, they just use a U model, which gets thrown around a lot, and that is made by the one Russian guy, Gilder, and that lets you export 3D models, and that's how they get them. So they generally rely on him to update his tool so they can export the things, and then they just throw them into Blender and then start posing them. What people were using that you probably saw to get the models, those are dumping them from the game as the game is running, and that has its own risks of getting banned, which is obviously not ideal.
Right. So
it's definitely preferred by the 3D art community to just dump them straight from the game files. And I've made some stuff to help them like find what files they need. There's like a spreadsheet, and yeah.
It just seems so tricky with like everything going on. So 3D art is harder to make with newer skins now because of this update, and it's hard for you guys to even come up with leaks. Like I just saw recently, Hypex posted out some leaks, and they were like the things you would find from like a season 4 leak or something like that, like
just textures.
Yeah, just no, you know what I mean? Like
name,
no like watermark, just black background, and they're just flat out PNGs, and it looks so classic. And I'm like, Well, this kind of brings me back. It's pretty interesting. When leaks were super simple.
I have a folder of old leaks from season 5. I think that's when I started. And yeah, that is exactly what it was like. It was the gray backgrounds, and I did it for essentially how I started. I did it for r/Fortnite BR. I did leaks for them.
Oh, okay.
That's how I got started out. And,
There you go.
Yeah.
I also got started from their Reddit. They banned me from it because I was asking about Power Core too much, and then I made videos talking about it. So I gotta thank Fortnite BR for that, for banning me for a week about that.
You got banned for talking about
I talked about it 3 times in the span of 3 days.
It's not even that well, like in separate posts.
Yeah, separate posts. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that I can understand a bit.
Dude, that was all I had going on in my life. When's the Power Core skin coming out? Here's my theory on it. Stuff like that.
But yeah, but about leaks at the moment, I should be able to get back to leaking in the format people are familiar with. That isn't just black background featured images. But yeah, I still have to wait for all the stuff to get, mapped out, and then be able to put it through my usual tools. Because I can briefly explain how Hypex did his.
Yeah, go for it.
We can get the asset files, but we can't read them properly. So what he does is he finds the beginning of the image data and then just shoves it straight through a converter to a PNG, and then that's how he got it. It's nothing proper at all. In fact, it's worse than U-model or just texture leaks like in season 4 or 5. So it's like a step backwards even.
I mean, the fact they have to use like the converter to begin with, like, did you even need to do that before?
Well, that's kind of similar to how I did some rough leaks of the loser fruit emote ahead of time. And that was just shoving data from encrypted data, that is, into the converter. And I kind of lost my train of thought there, but Hypex did it with the same way he would do leak things ahead of the AES key being found. And yeah.
But you guys,
it's very rough.
Can you explain to me what the AES key means?
So the game files are not entirely encrypted. The encrypted packs, which are referred to as just that, those are fully encrypted. The AES key, so the index of the files is encrypted. What says where all the files are in the file itself. So we need the key to figure that out, and that's so we know where everything is and know it properly. That's what the key is for, and it's just called AES because that's the name of the encryption.
So how do you even go out and find it? Because like once the update hits PC, you guys seem to be finding this key within like a minute.
It's automated at this point, actually.
Oh, you guys like just have like your own pathing way to like kind of figure out where it's located and everything?
Yeah, pretty close to it. I believe the main way it's found is through mobile, but it might have changed. There's a couple of ways people find it, and yeah, it's pretty consistent where they can find it, and they can match it to like what other keys are like, and then yeah, they just automated at that point. For a while though, it was pretty slow. I'd imagine you remember in like the third quarter of chapter 1, it would take hours sometimes to get the key.
I remember seeing it on Twitter,
people
saying, "Hey, who has the AES key?" And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I think Azrael has like an explanation website dedicated to explaining what the hell it is.
That's really cool.
And yeah, because even still, if I even mention AES, people are like, "What?"
Well, I kind of figured I knew what it was, but like I needed like a detailed explanation on that. I'm like, it's the key that basically opens up all the leaked skins and everything like that. Although, yeah, just everything in the update. So like any map changes you could possibly tell, I guess, with that maybe.
You could imagine it as like Before, it would be one file where it's just gigabytes of data, and then with the key, that makes folders and folders and folders and where all the files are. So it's a lot more manageable.
I see.
And there are ways to do it without that key, but those are generally the ones where you see where like there's like 200 images and half of them aren't even Battle Royale, and that's the downside.
Okay. I get it. Because I remember I used to see leaks of like some blatant Save the World stuff, and people would be like, oh, here's some new weapons. Some of them might be for Save the World. I think FMBR Leaks did that. Sheena, I think, did that a little bit. I think everyone leaked out.
Apex did that.
I think like everyone has accidentally leaked out some Save the World stuff before in that regard, not knowing it wasn't for BR or not. And I wonder, was that because they couldn't get an AES key on time and they just wanted to leak anything out that they had, or?
Yeah, basically, because they would dump all of the textures beforehand and then dump all of them again, and then they'd have the new ones.
I see.
And those could include Save the World. Unfortunately, in its own way, that's not really an issue anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, Save the World on that one.
RIP.
Did you play Save the World at all?
A funny story about that? No, I did buy it, but that was like season 2 or 3. I bought it because I thought it was how I got the battle pass.
Oh.
I got a refund on it.
Oh.
But it never went away. Although they probably changed the system 8 times since. So don't try to abuse that if you're listening to this.
Do you get your daily logins still, or what do you do?
Yeah, I grabbed those still.
What day are you on? Do you even know?
180 something.
Oh, you're barely touching it then. I'm like on like 500, 600, I think, or something like that. I haven't done it in like the past month because I just can't. I can't be asked at this point. But it's like, too many llamas for me to open. Not enough care.
I'm surprised no one has made like a thing that automatically redeems it for you.
I thought they were working on an app where
Fortnite Companion.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
That got cease and desisted.
Of course.
Well, it got cease and desisted primarily for security reasons, I believe.
So what about Polarius? Can you tell me anything about that? Are you involved with that at all? Do you know anything about it?
The Time Machine project?
Yeah.
That's in a kind of a gray area because they don't provide the old version of the game, and even I had trouble trying to find it. They just provide the stuff to make that old version of the game work. So it's not really a legal issue, and there's not really much security issues with that.
If it goes online though, and other people can play against each other.
Well, even then, it's that would be all their own proprietary code. They're not using code from Epic Games.
Right, but they're still using like Epic. They're still using like their assets on everything though, right? Like, isn't it all just?
Well, you could argue that it's still Epic Games' game there, but they just tape some stuff on it to make it do what they want. But yeah, I don't think Epic has any concerns with that. They haven't even showed concerns for, presume you've heard of Aurora, the private server thing.
Yeah, isn't that like a way you're able to like? Yeah, can you explain that for me as well?
Stuff. Aurora is a private server, and private servers started with Mod Night, which eventually was taken down just at request of, I believe, Magma again. And it was like, yeah, we probably should take this down. I actually worked on that a bit. I made the ability to make custom item shops, and I think that's how I made a item shop of all Ghoul Trooper. And I found that image recently, and it reminded me. And
can you even do that anymore? Can you even make up like item shops anymore like that?
Yeah, I think some people have used it to show off new skins.
No, but I'm saying, can you do that now?
With private servers, yes, but they're not really nearly as publicly accessible, and I don't really use them at the moment. But I may have to start using them for to even keep up.
If I just if I wanted to make up some like custom item shops for a video idea, just like make a video or like what I would do if I was like the item shop guy for a week, and then I just made them how I wanted them for just to show them
Honestly, you should probably ask like Hypex about that.
I
He'd,
might end up doing that.
I'm sure he could do it. Yeah. Well, I made it very easy to do it to the point that some people are like saying, "Oh, this is way too easy. People are going to go completely overboard with this." And yeah, but it's still possible to do. Like to go back to what private servers are, they basically intercept every single request that goes to Epic Games' servers and respond back with their own stuff. So to Epic, it doesn't even look like you're playing the game,
But
and that's
can you
why.
still get banned for using private servers though?
As long as I mean, most of them they just don't even launch with anti-cheat on, so you can go completely ham with them, like with cheat engine, like I've done before. But yeah, they're not even connected to Epic Games server at that point, so
Are
there's
you
really
even
no
able to
risk.
play the game at all?
No, you can't go in game.
Is it yeah, it's just the item shop, the locker. Because I remember I randomly I remember I was going through like locker vids because I was curious to know what people were rocking, and I saw this one where it was like he had everything, but when you scroll all the way to the bottom, you see that one bald guy from Save the World. I think it was like an AC guy,
I think
and
that
I'm
guy
like,
was like
oh,
a
you're using a
placeholder.
private server, then you tool.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, I believe there was a fair share of people who were like flexing with Mod Night, which had everything.
Yeah, like what on earth, dude? Yeah, how are you? That makes
Well,
it's crazy to me, at least.
well, I mean, it's pretty simple. They just the game sends a request what the inventory is, and then the private servers give back everything.
But how do you like? What do you do? Just you literally type out every single skin that you want in the locker, or like?
Most of them they just have them all automatically generated, or at least they did until 14.40. But yeah, there was
Oh, is that down now too because of that whole thing?
um. But you know they're probably pretty similar because they don't really need to read them. They
Because
just
I
need
don't
to
hear
have
anyone
the
complaining about
IDs of
that.
them.
It's just the 3D art and the leaks in general.
Yeah, but to go back to that, it's not impossible, and I think it may be possible to get models out this patch
Mm-hmm.
if there was no real big changes with how they store models. But if they changed how they store the models between updates and we don't have like 14.30 to go back out to compare, then that's where issues would likely form because Fortnite is like a guinea pig for Unreal Engine, so it gets new stuff that isn't documented, and then that becomes a pain to cover, and even more of a pain now with how they're doing things.
I see. Yeah, I don't see them moving. I really don't see them moving stuff around. This just seemed like a one-time way of just saving some memory, and they
Yeah,
just didn't know that they were going to be doing this. They were going to do all
well,
that.
it was almost definitely just them bringing up the game to be up to date more. But subsequently, one of those changes wiped out all the things needed to be able to read files.
But how?
Yes,
But how big? How much is that? Like
like
how
how much
much?
storage?
Yeah, because if the game was 90 gigabytes and it went down to 29, how much of that was actually used to find the models and to find the leaks and everything like that? Like how much?
To connect the files up. Um, no one has like fully decompressed the game yet, so I'm not sure what the number there is. But it's only like a few bytes per file
Hmm.
per value.
Okay.
They would be using, and here's the thing: they don't even. They still have like all the stuff like display name, rarity, like what defines all the properties. That's all still there, and that uses 10 times more data than just connecting the things up. So it absolutely wasn't done entirely as a way to store save data, and they realistically, if they didn't do that, the game would be the same size basically. But as they brought it up to date, it happened, and yeah.
And do you think they'll come out and say anything about it? Because I don't really see them doing that per se. I don't have connections with like actual like developers of Fortnite, so it's not like I could just be like, hey, Donald Mustard, you mind telling me what's going on? Like, because I don't even think he knows. I don't think anyone really knows.
Donald Mustard would not know. I can say with pretty strong confidence. But I mean, if you told someone like Flack, hey, all 3D artists are basically stuck in time without new skins, maybe then she would be able to communicate that down the line. But
I'll try contacting her, but I
yeah,
don't know if that's really gonna do too much. But
I don't.
they like the art. They love the art. I do too, dude. I love the art. That's like one of my favorite things about Twitter is the Fortnite art community is one of the biggest and most current and expansive communities I've seen. No other game gets this much love in their art community. I love Overwatch and I love their art community, but like Fortnite is just a whole nother beast in of itself. Like they go so hard with their with their art and all that. So,
And I can swear that they are definitely. That is definitely partly thanks to Epic's pretty chill stance on data mining, because otherwise stuff would not be nearly as accessible as it was, and likely it wouldn't have grown to the point it was. I think Tasty was originally a leaker, but that was so
yes, he
long
was.
ago, and then went to 3D art, and yeah, it's been pretty much open to new ones, and there's been tons of guys, and it's pretty open to new artists, and yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. What I was just thinking about something, but I completely lost my train of thought on it. But yeah, just like I don't know that like maybe they just don't know. You guys started maybe I don't know if you did, but I saw people on Twitter trying to start a hashtag to like save the leaks, I guess, which I don't know if that's really gonna take off.
Yeah, I haven't really tweeted that personally because it's not a very good it's not a great platform to stand on top of, like make us let us leak your game again.
Yeah, I think it should be the hashtag should be something different. I think it should be like save Fortnite art or something like that, or
Yeah, I was kind of like talking about like if we're gonna get anywhere, we're probably gonna need to get friendly with the 3DR community.
well, I'm already
get-
I'm already friendly with the 3DR. Oh, you mean the leakers are gonna have to get friendly with the 3DR community?
No, if we're gonna get anywhere as leakers, we're probably gonna need to leverage 3D art. But just being realistic,
yeah. Like, I mean,
I have mentioned this to Magma, but he has not responded to me at all today.
do you think he
Probably
even
just-
knows anything? Because he's a security. Why would I don't know why he would
Well,
necessarily.
he's kept up to date of it.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe he'll get
one
word
sec.
tomorrow. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what he does. I don't know what his
Well, I
life
mean, it
is
might
like.
be. I might just treat it as his job and not do it on weekends, you know.
Truth. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually.
And he did say, and he said he knows enough to say, no, the new file format is unrelated to data mining. So it's not like that's just extra confirmation that it's not the way to hurt us. And Magma does keep up to date with how things are going. And for us, well, with regards to data miners, so he does know some stuff, but he doesn't know the fully in-depth stuff. So this could be very well a surprise to him, what I DM'd him, but how much he could do to help us is not really that much realistically, because he's just security.
I see. Man, I don't know. All right. The lawsuit. Chapter 2 map, fine. The Chapter 2 map, remember when that got leaked and everything, right?
Yeah, some guy or like UX tester leaked images
Yeah.
of the map.
Right. So in the contract, in the lawsuit, Fortnite or Epic Games specifically states that leaks ruin the surprise and they ruin the excitement and overall sales and everything for Fortnite. So why do I feel like this is kind of like backwards thinking that they don't really want to hurt the leakers, as you say with like Magma saying, oh, the new file format wasn't related to data mining or anything like that. But at the same time, if they're so open to leakers doing whatever they want with like the leaks and stuff like that, besides just the events, then why would they say in the lawsuit that like, oh, this is a reason why we're suing you is because leaks ruin the excitement?
I mean, I still kind of agree with that. You probably agree that, leaks of season themes are not
Yeah, I
really
don't
that
like
great.
that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I generally only stick to data mining because, as I see it, it's more authentic way of doing it. And I think realistically, them saying that they hurt the sales was just the lawyer speaking because
That makes
because they
sense.
obviously want to cut off anyone leaking through user testing and all that stuff. Because I
Mhm.
believe that person was a part of just the UX tester that was brought in to test the new season for like their feedback on it.
Right.
Something I wish I could do, but Canada and them being American.
Yeah, I don't think they. Do you think they would
They
trust a
probably,
leaker to do that?
well, I mean, I'd probably, if I was given the option, I'd probably think second about it because if someone in there was to leak the information out, who are they going to think is going to have done it first? Me. But
Would you?
I mean, I'm interested in game development enough that I probably would say yes. But yeah, it definitely would be a bit risky. And I wouldn't leak anything from it. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't even share it to people close to me.
You wouldn't even
Because
share it with me? Yeah, as long as I promised I wouldn't say a word. No, no, no. Come on, I need a source.
I need a source.
I need a source to leak out all my information.
All my sources are just random emails from iPhone saying, "Guess what? This skin is coming out."
Send from iPhone.
Literally.
I think it does that for every iPhone user. I think it just says sent from iPhone. I'm like, why would you say that? It just seems so.
A really banger no subject email in my business email. It has no subject, no content, and it just says sent from my iPhone.
Have you gotten any legitimate sources as of late, or because I feel like I feel like everyone just has a legitimate source at this point with.
I don't know how I managed to just completely get none, but maybe there was some that were genuine in my emails at one point, but yeah, I've not gotten any.
So whatever happened to that one epic dev that leaked out the Black Manta skin, that leaked out the Lotta skin date, the one skin, I don't want to say what it is, but that one skin that got leaked out because they gave him the key to it.
Oh, that one.
What happened to that guy? Has he ever got caught? Do you even know if he got caught?
I don't know specifics, but I can make an educated guess. That kind of stuff is slowed down. I'm not really familiar fully with how Epic does things internally, but from what I can tell just from a distance, they don't really hide stuff from their employees. So it just takes one hole in anywhere in the company. Like, I think there were some support people who, I don't know, but I think they definitely cracked down on it. I don't know how they did it, but they definitely cracked down on it.
Yeah, because I haven't seen much of anything. I just haven't.
I think there is some crap going around about people getting given Galaxy through some leaked things through support. I think that was public. If it wasn't, and I'll tell you that, but
I've never heard of that.
Maybe you can just share it, but I wasn't involved in it, so I can.
Well, it's already in the podcast. They're giving out a Galaxy for free. What?
No, I think that was someone. That was a very bad chain of events, equally as bad as the Nintendo Switch V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Crap.
Oh, no.
That is just credit card fraud.
That's credit card fraud. Yeah, it's legit theft.
And then FNBR Leaks recently tweeted out someone who's offering discounted it.
Oh, I don't want to get into that.
Nah, yeah, I get it.
Oh my god.
I've realized it doesn't really do anyone any good pointing it out.
I feel like there's so many, I feel like, sorry about my squeaky mic, but I feel like a lot in the Fortnite community on Twitter, there was always sellers. There was always people selling skin codes and stuff like that. You don't really see that at all anymore. Or if you do, well, okay, I muted the word giveaway because I'm so tired of seeing giveaways on my timeline. So I just have that word muted. So maybe that's why I don't see them at all anymore. But I remember, Like
It definitely died down.
I guess they have. I have a plug for phone skins because he owns a phone store. Like he's legitimate. He actually owns a phone store. So he's just able to take used phones, download Fortnite, get a skin on there if they had to for like, I think he did. I don't remember. I think he did Iconic, and I think he did Glow. I don't think he ever did Honor Guard or Wonder because he's not from the EU or UK. So I don't think he was able to get his hands on phones like that. Which, by the way, we'll get into this soon because I wanted to mention this. But yeah, like I don't know, skin selling I feel like has kind of gone down.
No, I'm not really. I will admit I have kind of snitched on them sometimes, but I never really got much back about it. But that was mostly the people who are doing very controversial stuff like the V-Bucks and stuff.
Are you allowed to kind of explain how that works? But if you don't want that to be known, like public knowledge, you don't have to say it. I'm just kind of curious to know how it even worked out.
I think it was on Nintendo Switch V-Bucks, that one like phase of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was done. This is just rumor that I heard. And apparently, that was done with stolen Nintendo Switch accounts. Because the passwords would get stolen. I even saw someone on one of my timelines say, "Oh, I got a bunch of like big V-Buck purchases on my Nintendo account," and they didn't play Fortnite. And yeah, I think that's how that happened. That was one of the main ways. I'm like, that's how people are doing this. And that's why it's Nintendo Switch specific. Because people can just just buy a crap ton of accounts. And that's stuff I've never touched for very obvious reasons.
No, you don't want to get into credit card fraud. Trust me.
No,
it's a good.
I got my own. But yeah, that stuff has thankfully died down. There's like an epidemic of people flexing just how many V-Bucks they had at points. Didn't someone have like 1 million? And it was like all. I don't know whatever.
Wasn't that Landon that had that, or he bought that? I think legit.
No, I think there's someone with like hundreds of thousands of V-Bucks, and that was just so happened to be right around the time as all this other stuff was happening, and it was just so happened to be on a Switch.
Man.
I think that's been died down enough. Yeah.
Well, good. Honestly, good. So something interesting that happened to me today is I pre-ordered a code for the Wildcat bundle, and it's only EU. There is no US codes for this new exclusive skin, so I'm kind of risking it. I bought an EU code. I'll be given it as soon as it comes out. I think it comes out on the... Wait. I'm going to look this up. When does it come out? I think this comes out on...
Well, I think if there's any...
The 29th.
You probably will be able to redeem it, is my guess.
So...
I don't know if they would do region locking on that kind of crap.
Well, I'll explain it. So the code is EU only. It says cannot be activated in the United States. It literally says that. I bought it anyway. I bought it with euros and everything. And on the website, it's even like, we think you're in the US. And I'm like, okay, I understand, but I need this. So what I did was on my Nintendo Switch, I changed my account to Europe. I changed it to European.
You're going to redeem it through that?
Yeah.
Honestly, that will probably work because I've heard of people on Nintendo Switch, they just switch the region to something else to play games early, or even just to download games early. And if they can do that, I suspect you can probably redeem it.
So the one negative with doing that is that if you have any credit, because you know if you buy Nintendo Switch games digitally, you get like these little coins, like this credit. It gets
points, I believe.
Yeah. It gets removed if you switch your region, which I'm like, I don't even care. That's fine. So the plan is I get this code. I'm gonna put it on my Nintendo Switch account that I switched to Europe, and hopefully I'll be able to play on my Fortnite account through that, and then just log into Fortnite. Now, here's the funny thing. I went to update my Fortnite on my Switch. I don't have space. I think I have like the 30 gigabyte or like the 20 gigabyte. I don't know how big the gigabytes are on this SD card, but it's so bad that it said you need 12 more gigs. I'm like, okay, let me see what games I could delete. I have 2 games on there, and neither of them would give me 12 gigs total. I'm like, all right. One's like 2 and one's like 3. I'm like, oh my God.
I think part of that is because, oh no, I think updates are downloaded. No, I think they're downloaded to the SD card as well. But I think the updating works pretty crappily on Nintendo Switch. So like as you update it over time, it gets more and more space than it should. So then you like have to reinstall it. Don't quote me on that, but yeah.
Regardless, I bought a 200 gigabyte one on Amazon. I'm going to be getting it tomorrow. But I'm getting my Switch ready for this bundle because I collect all the skins, so I really need to make sure I get this exclusive. And I'm hoping that this works. My account is not European. My Fortnite account is not European. So that's what I'm worried about, is that, like, am I able to play my Fortnite account on a European accounted Switch, even though the Switch is in US? I don't know.
How did you
yeah, go ahead.
How did you redeem the other Nintendo Switch exclusive skin? Was that just like a code in the eShop?
That was Double Helix, and that I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember, did I do that? No, I didn't do that on the Nintendo site. I think I did that in the eShop. I think there was like an option for you to like just put in a code, and I
yeah, that was probably it.
And I did that, but then do you have any exclusives at all?
I have the NVIDIA one. That's
okay,
all.
so you have to put in the code, and then you have to log into Fortnite. That's the important thing, because so many people are like, oh, I'm going to buy the Xbox exclusives. They put in the code on the website, and they're like, well, what the heck? Where is my skin? You literally need to log into your Xbox that is connected to the email that you use the code with, and you have to download Fortnite, then log into Fortnite, be in the main menu, and then it'll give it to you.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does make sense, but that's the thing. Not many people have Nintendo Switches that also play Fortnite. Most of them play on PC or console, but they're not playing on the Nintendo Switch. So I think the Switch one is kind of the hardest one to be able to be like, yeah, I have to buy a Switch, then log into the Switch, and then download Fortnite, then get onto Fortnite. There's like a lot of tedious steps with it, but it makes sense. They don't want to give you a Nintendo exclusive and allow you to just put it on their website. Like, no, you can do it on their website so long as you're signed into that right account and everything, but you still have to go into the Nintendo Switch in order for you to actually confirm you're playing Fortnite with the code enabled. And then you get it. The game Rogue Company. Have you played that game, Rogue Company?
No, I've heard of it though.
Free to play game on Epic Game Store. I would highly recommend it. They have a PlayStation wrap you can get for free. It's the equivalent of the Blue Team Leader skin from Fortnite. I think it was like a Season 2 or Season 3 PlayStation exclusive skin. It's just like that generic, what was it? You know which one I'm talking about. The one with like the beanie, the gray beanie.
Oh, the PlayStation's ones?
Yeah, but it's a reskin of another skin.
In Rogue Agent? Or
No. What was it? It's, oh my God. I can't. It's like one of the originals.
The original.
It's not survival spec. No. It's an item shop skin from Season 1, I think. It's not survival specialist. That's the black and white.
Is it the snow one?
No, that's Arctic Assassin.
One.
It's a different one. I can't think of the name, but regardless, it's a reskin of that. And once you claim it from your PlayStation, you have it on your account, which is great. And then you can play it on your PC. Rogue Company doesn't do that. If you get the PlayStation wrap for your weapons, you can only use it on your PlayStation. If you go on your PC, the wrap is not there. It's there on your guns if you left it there last time you logged onto the game, but it's not in your locker. And I'm like, huh? So imagine if Fortnite did that. If you wanted to play with your Double Helix, your Eon, your Wonder, oh my God, imagine your Iconic.
Oh God,
and the fact that you
use it on a phone,
you had to have your phone, you had to be playing from your phone in order to see it in your locker. That's dumb. I want to complain to them about it, but I feel like that's such a small, needless thing to talk. Like if they put out PlayStation skin exclusives, then I'm gonna be like, okay, you guys really need to make it so PC can get access these if they claim it on their PlayStation. Like literally any other game, I guarantee you allows that. Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, should be thankful that Fortnite otherwise, other than restricting console skins from being played on other consoles. I think they do.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Otherwise, they let you play on any platform with anything. I mean, you can play with an NVIDIA skin on a Switch.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Which, that, by the way, wait, did you have to buy that skin, or did someone give it to you for free?
I think I was given it to me for free by someone, which I get it now, which I only now realize is probably means it was acquired by questionable means. But hey, that's not like I'm gonna give it up.
It's a great skin.
Yeah.
So you got reflex and then the stealth reflex.
Yep.
It's such an aggressive outfit. I love it. It's like one of my personal favorites. It just looks so, I don't know. It just.
I'm still kind of surprised that they even bothered to make the stealth variant.
Yeah, I was so shocked by that. I'm like, I was just watching my video a long time ago. It was called The Most Controversial Bundle, What Happened to the Counterattack Set. And I think it is still probably the most controversial thing that ever happened in Fortnite is you make an exclusive skin for an NVIDIA graphics card, which is really bizarre. But then you sell it in the item shop. And everyone's just like, huh? How is that?
I get doing that for tournaments, like getting it early.
Yeah, but this one was like an actual exclusive, and they had said it's an exclusive.
Buy a multi-$100 graphics card, and you get a Fortnite skin 2 months early. Like,
yeah. No, I know. I mean, Tango was like a week. And then the Daredevil one was like 3 days, and Complex took a month. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I was so excited for Complex. But it's kind of cool how they actually handle that. I mean, we're going to be getting 3 more tournaments like that. I would assume we'll probably get the next one after Fortnite Mares, which I'm banking on either Black Panther or possibly Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider as a skin would be sick, but I don't know how they would actually handle it.
Don't know.
Yeah, like, man, the thing that confuses me, one of the biggest things that confuses me with Fortnite is the Japanese version of Fortnite, or Chinese, I'm not sure which one. But
China.
Yeah, China doesn't allow skulls.
Yeah, that is a cultural thing.
That is a cultural thing. So what do they do about the Skull Squad set? What do they do about Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider is literally a dude with a skull for a head that's on fire. How do they... And if they don't allow it, then what do they do instead? Do they just...
I think I just found that image. Was it Season X that skin was in?
Which one?
The flaming head one?
That one's not even out yet. That's Ghost Rider.
Oh. Well, I found one.
Molten Battlehound is what you're thinking? Oh, that was the Eternal Voyager. I think that's what his name was. Yeah. They just like modify it. And honestly, he kind of looks cooler that way than the skull one. The skull looks kind of gross. I don't know.
Well, both have their appeals.
I didn't even like the Season X Battle Pass. It was just...
Season X was just
okay. That in general was bad. I want to make like a tier list of like all the Battle Passes stuff. That'd be cool. Like which ones I like the most. Because I think I will always say this without a doubt. I've said this ad nauseum at this point. Every Battle Pass is worth getting. You get so much for $10. Even if you don't complete the Battle Pass, you're still getting a lot of stuff. So it's always worth it. But that doesn't mean I have to like every Battle Pass. Doesn't mean I have to like every single thing in every Battle Pass.
Yeah, like people saying, oh, why would you just like the Battle Pass? You bought 100 tiers. Like, content. And
yeah, I don't get that anymore. I used to get that a lot back then. It was like, why are you buying tiers? But like nowadays, people kind of... I guess they kind of understand it's like, yeah, but it's my job to play the game and it's my job to like cover the game. So
it's completely understandable to buy that. I mean, when your job is entirely focused around it, it doesn't hurt to have all the latest stuff.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, me going out of my, like I spent 130 euros on this bundle and I'm not even guaranteed to get it. Watch this website scam me. I'm not even going to mention the name of the website because I don't know if they're legit or not. It seems pretty legit, though. It seems like they're not going to like scam me out of this or anything. But
if they were trying to warn you about you being US and it being EU, then
yeah, they were really hamming up. They're like, "Listen, you're in America." I'm like, "Okay, your point." This is an EU code. I'm aware. Your point again. If
Let me buy your damn thing.
Here's the thing. Here's the plan. If it doesn't work on my US Switch, even though my account is European, I'm going to have to buy the European Switch, the Wildcat European Switch bundle physically and doing it that way, which is fine because that means I'll have 2 codes and one will just go to Pizzo because Pizzo covers all the Fortnite cosmetics in the game and everything. And
I'm hopeful that it would be available. Sorry, to you.
I hope it just comes on the US. I don't know why they haven't said anything about that yet.
Yeah, they've really not talked about it much.
We just haven't. I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares about exclusives anymore. It's so sad.
It showed up really slowly. Like, it wasn't Japanese that mentioned it.
Yeah, and here's the worst thing. This is going to be. I guarantee you, this might actually be one. Well, okay, I don't want to guarantee it, but this might be one of the most rare bundles, exclusive bundles, because you're at a point. This is coming out on the 29th, right? The next generation of consoles are coming out in less than a month. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Do you really think people are going to be buying a Nintendo Switch in late 2020? Like, do you think people are actually going to do that? And do you think they're going to buy a Fortnite bundle? Probably not.
I think people will be buying Switches, but will people be buying Switches to play Fortnite? No, I don't think that'll
Probably
happen.
not, honestly. And I'm not saying I want this thing to be rare or anything, but I'm saying, like, I just... And plus, it's only in the EU at the moment. Like, it just seems so hard to get this. Like, I would
not be surprised if 90% of the people who own it are little Timmy and his new Switch from Christmas.
Is that what you're telling me, huh? Is that what you're calling me?
No.
I do want the Switch actually, because the Switch actually looks nice. It's got a very nice decal design, and I think you've even seen the leaks of it, right? You've seen the Wildcat skin, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen the box. Oh yeah, I fit here now.
Yeah. What do you think about the skin? It has it has 3 added styles. It's cool because we all thought that this was the loser fruit skin.
God, yeah,
it looks like her. Like, I'm sorry, it just does. The face, it totally resembles it. I like the added styles. The blueprint one is awesome looking. How her whole outfit is just blueprint. That's cool.
Yeah, like people weren't really that I do find it funny though, because people weren't that concerned with if it was going to be the Switch Wildcat one, if that was going to be loser fruit. But because wasn't that just the featured image that came out for it?
Yeah,
that was found originally. That was such a coincidence.
Yeah, that was. I imagine that was encrypted or something.
I don't even know if it was. They just somehow accidentally slipped in one texture and nothing else.
It was just so random because there wasn't even a name for it.
No, I'm not sure what the idea of it was, but I suspect it wasn't very helpful.
Nah, probably not.
But yeah,
it's
think
a
it
cool
looks
skin.
good,
I'm excited to
personally.
get it, but it just getting my hands on this thing is just so painfully annoying. If it does end up working, I'll do like a whole video of me like activating it and everything like that. Just I know people are kind of
convoluted deal that will be
just a little bit. And again, if it doesn't work on my US Switch, I'll just buy the European Switch. It's all tax write-offs. It's all tax write-offs. It's fine. It's fine. Which I actually found that out recently, not super recently, but you know how like those YouTubers kind of like show off their cars and it's always kind of like snobby and kind of annoying when like those big YouTubers like, hey, check out my ride. It's essentially, I think it's, well, half of it I think is bragging, but the other half of it is that it's like tax write-offs. If you're making content on your car that you use for your business or for your YouTube channel, that's a tax write-off. You're going to pay less in taxes. Like putting money into a car is a lot of money. So when you film it and you make monetary gain from that video, it technically counts as a tax write-off. So you don't have to pay taxes on the car, which is good. So that's why all those house reveals, that's why all those car reveals, that's why they do it, is partially because of tax write-offs. And then the other half is just be like, hey, look at my Lamborghini. I am never getting a Lamborghini, by the way. I would never buy that.
Whenever someone mentioned tax write-offs in YouTube, I always think of that Gus Johnson video.
Yeah, exactly.
But the question is, did he write that guitar off?
You gotta do everything for your content. Anything you show off, it could just become a tax write-off. It's very, very handy, I guess. Anything else you want to mention with like the leaks, by the way, that we're kind of getting into here with just how it's just kind of been at the moment, how it's kind of like restricted and everything? Like, do you think they're actually going to make a statement about it? Like, what do you think in the next week or two do you think is going to actually happen with everything?
Well, I'm interested to see what Magma has to say about it. I presumably will get a message back on like Monday or so. And I'm not sure how they'll plan to do it. Maybe they'll say, oh, the data you're looking for, it is in there. You just got to look a bit further. But, yeah, not really anything back yet about that. There was some talk about Epic releasing something to basically do what the files used to do before without, increasing the size of the game for most people. Like, yeah, but nothing is confirmed as of yet. It could be in there, like what we need to make it work as well as it did before, but we've not found anything yet, and that is being conceptualized for days now, and nothing's come up. So it's up in the air still.
Okay. What kind of music are you into?
Generally chiller stuff, chiller synthy electronic stuff, nothing crazy dubstep here.
Okay.
If you say electric, people are like, oh, dubstep. Like, no, not all electric music.
Okay. I got you with that. Well, I think with that, we'll move on to the weekly item shop recap. Brought to you by Spotify. Even though I'm not sponsored by Spotify, I have not taken a single sponsor yet. I don't know if I ever would. I don't really see the harm in doing sponsors if I actually believe in the product. So
keep your doors open on that.
Raid Shadow Legends not something I believe in. So you'll never get a sponsor out of me with that one. Sorry, just not a fan of that.
Have they tried to sponsor you?
I don't think so.
Surprising. I've seen people with like tiny.
I know. It's weird.
But we're saved yourself by being Fortnite specific,
I guess. But we're gonna talk about the item shop, recap everything we had last week, and you can chime in with whatever you have your opinions on. So let's see. This week we had. I think I talked about this last week. I can't remember, but no wait. Oh yeah, I absolutely did. Never mind. We'll start off with the 18th of October. We had the Deadeye skin return. It's okay. Daredevil bundle overstayed its welcome. It feels like it was in the item shop for like well over like 4 or 5 days or something like that. I don't know.
4 days.
I feel like the Daredevil skin was really not super great because Fortnite kind of was like, hey, you can just like make your own Daredevil if you want with the created superheroes, because you can pretty much make your created superhero look identical to that, not the edit style, but to him and itself. You can literally like do the same colors and fabrics. I think, like, I don't know. So it's kind of uninteresting to me in that regard. Ultimate Reckoning's been here for a while. That's fine. I'm not even gonna bother mentioning it again. Grimoire, which I believe released on this day. Grimoire is one of my new favorite skins. It's great. Love it. Hemlock, Ghoul Troopa, Luminous, Dream, Which Way emote, Penny with her new edit style. We got a few. Okay, so this week in shops, they've been drastically better. In terms of uniqueness, even Lucas can vouch, I would assume. The shops have been insanely better, like with unique items.
Yeah, my Twitter bot, it tracks the average last seen and like max. And just from that alone, I can say it is a lot more diversified than previously.
Without a doubt. We had Far Out Man return after The website says it was last out 783 days ago. That is actually wrong. It actually came out sometime in November of 2018. Regardless, it was top 10 rare. And I love that skin still. It's still one of my personal favorites. And they brought back my boy. I better not see him being run around a lot. I don't think I'm going to. It's not a super appealing skin. I mean, it's Rifty's skin. We also... Yeah?
I can give some numbers here. Like, for the last week, most of the shops have had something that's not been in the shop for over 300 days. That is pretty good.
Every single time? Or every...
From what starting point was it?
Yeah.
18th, 448 days. 19th, 777 or whatever the correction was. Then 386, then 728. It's all high compared to what it was for ages.
It's a little bit different, right? I'm honestly, I'm happy about it. I really am. It's good. Let's see here though. I lost my track. Boneless also came back, which is pretty good emote. Infinite Dab, Spark Plug, Iridescent. Nothing too crazy there, but Boneless coming back was cool. See, we also had Chomp Senior returning, which that actually hasn't been out in over 100 days, so that was nice. Llama Kadabra also, that hasn't been out in over a year. Treat Yourself, Zombified, Fright Flame, Jacko Pattern, just typical stuff there, honestly. Oh yeah, they brought back Ludwig and Heidi again after 30 days. I am shocked by this. I am actually shocked.
They did well.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I think it's doing well, and I'm very happy about that, honestly. Because I think it was one of those skins where it's like, okay, I really don't know. Are they really going to actually give this skin a chance, or the set a chance? Because they never really release it. But no, it turns out that I guess they thought it was good enough to just keep around. So very happy with that for sure. Oh yeah, Midnight Ops. Oh, dude, they brought back the rare skin. Midnight Ops is back already. Like they just randomly brought him out for like over 2 years. He hasn't been out. It's over 2 years.
728 days.
That's like actually nuts. So, what is up with Fortnite actually like doing pretty decent with their stuff? Honestly, like
I think
you go ahead.
Yeah, but Fortnite's been turning around in their community interaction, as I'm sure you're aware. With their Twitter actually replied to you for one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't even mention that they actually replied to me on a tweet. I'm gonna try to find it right now. I'm actually logged on to my alt Twitter account. I'm trying to remember what they said. They said something along the lines of like, they did a poll, which again, I'm happy that Fortnite's actually like acting like not a robot. I'm like happy about that a lot. And I'm trying to think, there's
the link.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was the link to what they actually replied with. And they tweeted out saying, favorite Fortnite item besides candy, of course. Pumpkin launcher, field hunter crossbow, which no one voted for that. Feels bad, man. Witch broom, and then Shadow Midas's drum gun. And I just respond. I said, can't top the pumpkin rocket launcher. And then they said, actually, you can. They responded to me. What? Like, that's so cool.
I definitely feel there's a connection with something going on internally in Epic. Like, they're trying to figure out what they're doing, and that has affected our item shop. That's my belief.
Well, they're doing better with communication. They're doing better with shops. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with this. This is good. This is good. They don't feel like robots. They don't feel like, we put in only 30-day-old stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a time when I was graphing out the average last seen and the amount of 30 and 20.
Oh, it was dude,
days.
I hated it too. Absolutely hated it. I'm so happy they're actually diversifying themselves. Like, thank you. Jeez, thank you. Like they had to, okay, here's a good example here. On the 21st of October, we had Aura and Guild return. Fine. You have to have some 30-day-old stuff. You can't only just have no 30-day-old stuff. You have to have some. Or else if you just bring back all unique stuff, then nothing's going to be unique in like a half a year or in a few months. Like you're just going to ruin it. So mixing them is good. Having all 30-day-old stuff is terrible. So it's a nice balance. So we got Aura Guild back, which is fine. Sagan returned, Heyman returned, Wrath, Skull Ranger, Skull Trooper, Jack Gordon, Hollowhead, Big Mouth. There are a lot of Halloween cosmetics. Safari returned, Insightful Rap, brand new rap. No one cares at all about this rap. I can't really blame him. It's just a black and red and white one that I just kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. On the 22nd, we had Oro return. We had Slurpentine, Professor Slurpo. Doggo also return as well. Jawbreaker. Teef also made his return. Vulture coming back, which hasn't been out in over 150 days. Very good. Busy Emote, 140 days. Again, very good. Wimmo Floss, you kind of see it often. Surf Rider about 60 days ago. Good. It's better than usual. And then the Scanline wrap hasn't been seen in 292 days ago, which I thought Scanline was a 30-day-old wrap. I'm like, I used to see this all the time, and then I guess they just kind of disappeared. It's a good wrap. I like it.
I'm kind of surprised they did though, because it's animated, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
is it technically animated? I don't know if it is. Scanline.
It's scrolling scan lines.
Yeah, but does it say it's animated? I don't think it does.
Yeah, it actually does say it's animated.
Oh, it does. I don't think is there any other uncommon wraps that are animated or say that they're animated?
Well, I can definitely say it is very much what I would imagine an uncommon animated wrap to be like.
It's still,
and that's part of why I'm surprised that it came out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. 23rd of October, we had the Galaxy Scout with the Raptor skin also returning. Blinding Lights as well. It's all right. It's not the best emo we had recently. Slumber coming back after 54 days. We had Backstroke coming back after almost 200 days. We had Krabby. Subterfuge hasn't been out in over 200 days. Zorgoton hasn't been out in 173 days. Like they're killing it right now. They're doing so well with all this. Like I'm super happy. And then finally, tonight, we're recording this on Saturday as a reminder here. We got the Ghostbuster stuff, which it's so weird to see it in the item shop right now. But yeah, Spectre Inspector, Spirit Sniper, Phantom Commando. What do you think about these skins, by the way?
They're okay. I mean, they're uncommon skins.
Mm-hmm.
They're about what I would expect. But the variety doesn't hurt it, and it's not like they're bad skins on their own as uncommons.
You know, this is such a shame, but on the FMBR website where it says, what did our users think of the shop? It's grossly negative.
12,000 and then 2,000 loved it.
It says 1,640 loved it, 1,853 meh, 11,274 hate it.
Watching it go up on my end and hate it. I don't get why people are hating it.
Wow. I guess they just weren't expecting it to be this way. I mean, I'm disappointed. I wanted at least a Ghostbusters music pack. I wanted to see like the actual cast of the Ghostbusters as skins. That would have been cool. I'm okay with what we got, but I feel like it was kind of underutilized. I wasn't expecting it to be this way. But other than that, Supersonic hasn't been out in over 134 days. Flippin' Incredible hasn't been out in over 180. Custom Flyer 153. Bigfoot 168. Like these are all super unique. They're killing it with the unique stuff. And then Get Loose was like 34 days. So they're doing good in the unique department. And that's about it. But yeah, I think it legit has something to do with the fact that like it just is a little bit disappointing with how they kind of handled all of it. Maybe that's just me. Again, I really want to know what everyone else thinks about it, but that will be it for the weekly item shop recap. Brought to you by Spotify. Once again, I'm not actually sponsored by Spotify. I just want to say brought to you by because I think it sounds pretty funny. But that is that's basically it. I'll see if I can go through some of the YouTube comments because I haven't checked these comments in the past few days. I feel bad about this, but I don't know. So from the last episode, which I feel like I could have titled it a little bit differently because it wasn't very interesting. There wasn't much to talk about. I can see what we have here. A lot of people wishing me, for my grandfather who sadly passed away. I really do greatly appreciate it, guys. Thank you. But yeah, I feel like a lot of my comments are going to be that way. I do greatly appreciate it. But I will go through some of the comments to see if there's any like questions that I could possibly understand here. Do you think for Christmas they'll have a skin with ice skates like Derby Dynamo? Yes, please. That'd be kind of cool. What do you think about the Derby Dynamo skin?
One moment, just need to pull it up.
the chick with like the roller skates.
Oh yeah, I see her. What are they saying? Like something like that, but with skates?
Yeah, like ice skates.
That could be actually pretty decent.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I'd imagine Derby Dynamo. That was in summer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Would definitely make like a good don't know what the term is, but a good alter ego of it, but in winter.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see them doing that.
I get that.
Them doing like a set like that.
Yeah, for sure. Grimoire is pronounced Grimoire. I know because of Black Clover. Well, mister, what is Black Clover? It's a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Yuki Tabata. Interesting. It's pronounced Grimoire. That sounds cooler than Grimoire. That sounds cooler.
Yeah, I googled it and it says Grimoire. So
Grimoire. Yeah. All right. Her name's Grimoire. Thank you for pointing that out to me. New podcast. Let's wish for Spotify to actually sponsor. I did get a sponsorship. I did get an email about partnering with this group called, I think it's called like Anchor. Yeah, and I just wasn't interested in that.
Don't they do chargers?
What?
Anchor, like the charger company?
That's all no, they're like no, not that one. Like an actual Anchor. It's a Spotify company.
Oh, it's a podcasting.
Yeah, they said I'm a fan of your podcast, and I immediately assumed it was a bot because no one's a fan of this podcast. Let's be honest. There's no intro music. There's no editing. Like, come on, dude. Let's see. Yeah. See, I kind of figured this was gonna happen. A lot of my comments were just saying sorry for your loss and everything, and I do greatly appreciate it. I really do, guys. It's very, very kind of you. The only other Battle Pass collaboration I'd like to see is Star Wars, maybe DC, but for the most part, please keep the Battle Pass original. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling as well, Nathan. I just want the game to feel original, like the Battle Pass as well, but I'm talking about the gameplay too. I don't know, just please, can I just have my Fortnite back? I'm just saying. I would like to see that come back.
Yeah, you might be able to find more comments by looking under newest first.
Oh, that might be actually a good idea. Again, I appreciate all the nice comments. Thank you. Okay. What would you do if Donald Mustard and Tim Sweeney broke into your house, kidnapped you, and asked you to make the theme for season 5, and then design a battle pass and an item shop skin, what would it be? And I don't know isn't an answer. I don't know isn't an answer. Okay.
What an interesting question.
Okay, that's the first thing I see here.
I just wanted to add, he signed his name at the top. Revolutionary.
Nathaniel Babuta, thank you for your comment. Okay. Theme? Let's see. This one ends what? Late November? Can you confirm that for me? It's late November this season ends?
One moment.
I think on Fortnite it's at like November 20th, 25th, 26th, something like that. So it'd have to be like a winter season.
November 30th.
And do you believe that is actually going to happen on November 30th? Or do you think that's just like text?
I'm hopeful, because wasn't last season they actually stuck to their deadline pretty good?
Yeah, they did. That's true.
Maybe they're redeeming themselves.
I just feel like the season's too long, just a little bit. I don't know. Like we already have all the special edit styles. No, you're right. It's not that.
I'll take that over the being misled.
Yeah,
like 3 weeks straight.
Okay, here we go. All right, season 5, chapter 2, season 5 is going. We're gonna have a winter season, and I'm trying to think like what an item shop skin. I would like to see a flat out like tree, not like a bush ranger. I'm talking like a pointy tree, like imagine a prickly, like scary looking tree with like holes for eyes and a crazy like jack-o'-lantern like mouth. Like I want it to be kind of like a medieval winter season. Like make it kind of like a loom and gloom kind of season. Don't make it all holly jolly. Make it like kind of mix some Halloween with it. Like think of like
a winter season with a dark undertone.
Yeah, like what's that movie called? I'm looking it up right now. I think it was Halloween is Grinch Night. Think of it kind of like that, how it was. So if you guys do not know what this movie is, I haven't even personally seen it. I just found this was so interesting. Halloween is Grinch Night is a 1992 video cassette release. It's a 1977 children's musical dark fantasy Halloween television special, and it's the prequel to the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and it premiered on ABC in 1977. And that's basically it. It reminds me, it just gives me that whole like, it's Christmas, but it's also like Halloween. So kind of make it like a medieval, grim sort of winter season. And one of the skins in the item shop would be like a really prickly tree man. Not like Bush Ranger. Bush Ranger's innocent and really nice. I want like something evil. That'd be cool. In my opinion. Devlin, thank you for your comment. Again, thank you so much for all the comments wishing me with my grandfather. I do greatly appreciate it. IMO, I like the idea of the zombies and think it would be good for after Fortnite Mirrors if they made it something like it, but you couldn't kill the people who are still alive, but only could kill the people who have died, as you wouldn't have to load into a new game. Love the concept. That's actually an interesting point. He's basically saying how in the zombies right now, they can spawn in the sky and they come back down, but then they just kill they try to eliminate the people that are still alive. How cool would it be if it was just like to eliminate the other ghosts? I think that's a cool idea.
Like a second battle royale in a minute?
Yeah. I don't see why not. That could be kind of something cool. I feel like this was a test. I feel like whenever Fortnite does something new, it's a test.
Yeah, they do that. Like there was a while where it was like, maybe not. But honestly, at this point, they do it so often that it's just such a possibility.
Yep.
Like the underwater part of Travis Scott event, people are like, oh, this means underwater season. I don't know if that was before or after the scene was leaked, but maybe that was the case. Who knows?
Who knows, honestly. I have no idea. Let's see here. I just got offered to play some Among Us. Ooh. Probably be playing that later tonight. you should talk about She-Hulk's fists and how overpowered they are. Are they even in the main game right now?
I think they came out with this update.
They are kind of busted. They are busted in the superpower LTMs. I will say that. They're probably the strongest close engage. Iron Man's good for consistent long range. I always thought that Wolverine was the best up close, but She-Hulk's fists, if you can just like land the combos, they're so deadly. They're so insanely strong. If the same damage transferred over, which I doubt it's the exact same, but if it did, yeah, it would be busted for sure. When do you think the Fortnite iOS will end? Or do you think, I think he's talking about like, when do I think the whole lawsuit will end? I have zero idea.
I think it was around May was when they were estimating, maybe.
What do you think about that? They were offered to put it back on the iOS store while they sort this out through the suit, and they said no to it.
I think it's a bit of a weird choice because they're trying to be the nice guys, and then they're saying, I think one of the points made by Apple's lawyers was like they're saying that this is going to be in repairable loss, but then they proceeded to not even try or even do what they were offering.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have brought it back onto it, because I was in that Zoom call and the judge was talking about, well, just put whatever money Apple would get from it into a bank account where it'll just sit until the thing is ended, which I thought was like, sounds like a great way to do it. And then the lawyers were like, why should we do that? And I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole situation just seems weird. I don't know. I think Fortnite was like, they didn't want to like give in to that because like they thought they would be losing the fight if they complied with Apple, I guess. I don't know. It's just, I want people to play their game again, honestly.
Yeah, like I may have been talking trash about trying to play mobile Fortnite, but one thing that I absolutely understand, not everyone has a computer, not everyone has a console. If they've played on phone for years, then yeah, it's going to be pretty devastating if that suddenly is dragged away for something that largely doesn't even affect them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine being an entirely free-to-play player and you get just thrown to the side.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know how I would feel. Looking at both Fortnite's Twitter and Instagram is much worse. Ooh, I gotta check out their Instagram then. If it's really that bad. I'm gonna see. You can get those cards. I ordered some from Amazon. I'm going to look into that. From In the Shade, hey Nick, to be honest, I think everyone complaining about how the new season is all Marvel are kind of ignorant. Everyone's saying they want Fortnite to be Fortnite again, even though it was Fortnite for 3 years. Community can't handle one season, seems kind of ignorant on the community's behalf. Fortnite is still the same game with a Marvel mask on it. We take a 1 season break from an overall mediocre storyline and get tons of new content and skins, and everyone loses their mind, lol.
Oh boy, I have a lot of things to say.
Well, I do agree to an extent on the fact that it's just like this is the only, like, it's a Marvel season, so it's just like 1 season. It's not gonna be. I understand where you're coming from with that, but I have to say that I just flat out am worried with the direction the game is going to go in terms of like, Lucas, you could say what you would want to say here.
I think, yeah, it could snowball and just result in non-stop things that might not interest everyone. Because I did a survey, and it was like 40% of people, before it was really confirmed that it was a Marvel-only season, said they don't think any season should be fully stuck to one brand. Like, and I agree with that. And I hope to God that they don't do it again next season with this, even if it's Marvel again or another company. But yeah, I think that they shouldn't do it, and they should stick it to minor cameos. Like, I can live with Deadpool being the secret skin one time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that, honestly. I'll do a few more here. So glad you could get the code you wanted. I always wanted Beast, but it's used by a channel with a name that is nothing similar to my name. They just happen to have the account named Beast. That's such a shame, dude. Beast is a Save the World YouTuber. I really like his stuff. I'm so sorry I'm sorry to hear that, dude. They didn't give me my code. Someone took that code from me, and then they got disabled from the program. So I don't really know. It's kind of weird. What if they're trying to make the soccer skins rare? I don't know. It's just so random for them to just not bring those back, honestly. At least in my opinion. Just how I see it there. So I'll read one more comment here. What's the new set of rare skins now that both Firewall Man and Midnight Ops are back, not counting Purple Skull and Pink Ghoul, as well as Renegade Raider Aerial Assault? That would be the Hackavat skin. That would be the next rare skin. That is the rarest item shop skin currently. And then I think it goes, I actually don't know the exact order, but because so many of the top 10 rare skins came back already. But I know for a fact Hackavat hasn't come back. Hyperion, Brilliant, and Radiant Striker, those 4 skins right there have not come back in a while. So they're probably top 10 at the moment there. But yeah. I think that's where we'll end it. That'll be where we end off this podcast. I'd like to thank Lucas again for coming on to the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Again, follow him on Twitter. It's Lucas7Yoshi.
Supporter creator, Lucas7Yoshi.
Yep. Definitely check him out there. Do all that crazy good stuff there. Once again, if you're listening on Spotify, I have a YouTube channel called ITalkFortnite. If you're on YouTube, I do have a Spotify called the ITalkFortnite podcast. You can definitely check it out there. You can follow me on Spotify, follow me on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. You could check out my Twitter at ITalkFortnite. You can follow me on Instagram. I can talk Fortnite. I don't have a TikTok, and if you'd like to use me for supported creator, my code is ITF. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast, and I will talk to you all later.